Let me ask you something real. Why do most people, no matter how hard they work, stay broke their entire lives? Why is it that you can grind for 40 hours a week for 40 years and still retire with just a social security check, a pile of bills and regrets? It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Because what they taught you about success, about money, about life, was a straight-up lie. School didn't teach you wealth. Your job wasn't built to make you rich. And the system? It was designed to keep you quiet, compliant, and just broke enough to never ask questions. Chapter 1. School teaches nothing about money. Here's the million-dollar question. Why do we spend 12 years in school, then 4 more in college, and come out clueless about how money actually works? You can memorize Shakespeare, solve for X, and name every planet, but you don't know how taxes work. You don't know how credit works. You don't know how to build wealth. That's not a flaw in the system. That is the system. Part 1. Designed to make employees, not entrepreneurs. Let's be honest. School was never meant to make you rich. It was meant to make you obedient. Think about it. You raise your hand to speak. You sit in rows. You follow a bell schedule. You memorize facts. You pass tests. Sound familiar? That's not education. That's employee training. The system doesn't teach you to think. It teaches you to follow. And here's the kicker. It teaches you just enough to be useful, but never enough to be powerful. Part 2. The financial curriculum that doesn't exist. Let's list out all the real-world money skills school should have taught. How to budget, how to build credit, how to invest, how compound interest works, how to negotiate, how to file taxes, how to avoid debt traps, how to start a business, how to build passive income, how to escape the 9-to-5. And yet, none of that was ever mentioned. We spent hours learning about parallelograms, but no one told us how to read a paycheck stub. Why? Because teaching you those things would make you independent. It would make you question the system. It would give you options. It would make you uncontrollable. Part 3. The real cost of this blind spot. Here's the real damage. People leave school with a diploma in one hand and a mountain of debt in the other, and then they wonder, why am I broke? Why can't I save? Why is money always tight? Why am I working harder but not getting ahead? Simple answer, you were trained to earn but never taught to keep. You were told to chase a job but never taught how to build wealth. You were taught how to be busy, not how to be free. Part 4. Why the 1% learn outside the classroom. Here's what most people don't realize. The wealthy, they don't rely on schools to teach their kids about money. They teach them at home. They show them how to invest. They let them sit in on business calls. They give them books, mentors, hands-on experience. Because they know the truth. Wealth isn't taught in classrooms. It's passed down or self-taught. You want to break the cycle. Start learning what the system refused to teach you. Books, podcasts, courses, mentors, real-world experience. You got to unlearn what kept you broke and relearn what builds wealth. Part 5. You were set up to be broke, and here's why. Let's zoom out for a second. Ask yourself, who benefits from a population that doesn't understand money, stays in debt, depends on a paycheck, feels too busy and tired to fight back? The system does. Governments, banks, corporations. They profit when you borrow more, spend more, work more, settle for less. And how do they make sure that happens? By sending you through a school system that teaches you nothing about financial freedom. They don't want you rich. They want you manageable. Part 6. How to unlearn the school mindset. Here's the real move. You've got to re-educate yourself on your own terms. Learn how money flows. Learn how rich people think. Learn the habits that build wealth. Learn the traps that keep you broke. Most importantly, stop thinking like a student. Start thinking like an owner. Because owners own their time, own their income, own their decisions. And students? They wait to be told what to do. You're not a student anymore. You're the author of your life. Start acting like it. Chapter 2, Social Pressure Keeps You Broke. If you want to know why 99% of people stay broke, don't just look at their bank account, look at their circle. Because more people go broke trying to impress others than they do from bad luck or bad decisions. Let that sink in. Part 1. Flex culture is keeping you poor. We live in a world where image is everything. You don't need to be rich, you just need to look rich. That means designer shoes on a credit card, BMW lease payments with 18% interest, vacations on a loan, $7 coffees every day but $0 in savings, chasing trends instead of chasing purpose. And the crazy part, nobody bats an eye because everyone else is doing the same thing. We went from keeping up with the Joneses to flexing for strangers online who don't even care. You're broke, but your Instagram looks amazing. You're stressed out, but your outfits are fresh. You can't invest $500, but you spent $1,200 on a phone to scroll TikTok. Welcome to the broke flex era, where perception is more important than freedom. Part 2. Friends that keep you average. You ever notice how certain people get uncomfortable when you start to change? You say, I'm cutting back on spending. They say, man, you're being cheap. You say, I'm building a business. They laugh and go, oh, another one of those entrepreneur people? You say, I don't want to go out this weekend. I'm saving. They pressure you with, come on, bro, live a little. Let's be real. Some people don't want you to level up because it reminds them they haven't. So instead of rising with you, they try to pull you back to average. And if you're not careful, you let them. Part 3, the pressure to appear normal. Let's talk about this word, normal. What's normal in America? Drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, working a job you hate, no emergency fund, no assets, no freedom. That's what most people live like, and they'll defend it like it's gold. If you try to, break the cycle, talk about money, think differently. Choose a different path, you'll be labeled as weird, too ambitious, trying too hard, full of yourself. Most people would rather be broke and accepted than rich and misunderstood. That's not success. That's slavery to public opinion. Part 4, you become who you hang around. You've heard this one before. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Guess what? It's true. If your friends complain more than they learn, waste money more than they invest, mock success more than they chase it, watch Netflix more than they build skills, then you're living in a trap disguised as friendship. You don't need to cut everyone off, but you do need to protect your vision, because every time you shrink to make others comfortable, you delay your own progress. Part 5, rich people move different. You know why the top 1% move in silence? Because they don't need validation. They don't care if they're trending. They don't care if they miss the party. They don't care if their friends don't get their goals. They're not chasing likes. They're chasing legacy. Broke people chase clout. Rich people chase assets. The wealthy know you don't need a crowd to build wealth. You don't need approval to grow. You don't need to explain your grind to people who aren't paying your bills. You need focus, discipline, and the guts to walk alone if you have to. Chapter 3, money beliefs that keep you broke. Want to know the biggest reason people stay broke? It's not inflation. It's not the government. It's not the economy. It's the stories they believe about money. Because here's the truth. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe you're worth. Part 1, your brain runs on beliefs. Every action you take with money, every swipe, every spend, every excuse comes from one thing, your beliefs. And the crazy part? Most of those beliefs were formed before you were 10 years old. You were watching your parents fight about bills, your mom stress over groceries, your dad say, we can't afford that. Adults whispering about rich people with resentment, you didn't even realize it. but you were getting downloaded with broke beliefs. And now, they run your financial life like a hidden script. Part 2, the lies we were taught about money. Let's expose some of the biggest money lies that keep people stuck in the 99%. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. If I just work hard, I'll be rich. I'm not good with money. People like me don't get wealthy. If I make too much, I'll lose friends. Wanting more makes me selfish. You've probably said or thought some of these. But here's the hard truth. Every belief you carry is either a weapon or a weight. And most people are carrying weights, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Part 3, how beliefs keep you in the cycle. Let me show you how this plays out. You start making money. You feel good. But deep down, you still believe, I'm not supposed to have this much. I'm not smart enough to keep it. People are going to judge me if I win too big. So what do? You subconsciously sabotage. You overspend. You undercharge. You avoid looking at your bank account. You don't invest. You play small. You stall. Your brain pulls you back down to the level you believe you belong at. It's not luck. It's not fate. It's not even the market. It's the internal thermostat, and you never turned it up. Part 4, rewiring your financial mindset. You want to escape the 99%? You don't just need a new strategy. You need a new story. That means reprogramming the way you see money. Check mark from money is scarce to money is a tool. Check mark from rich people are evil to wealth is impact. From I'll never get ahead to I control the game now. From I'm not good with money to I'm learning fast. From I'll always be broke to this chapter ends with me. This isn't fake positivity. This is neural rewiring. You can't build a millionaire life with minimum wage thinking. Part 5, what the 1% believe that the 99% don't. Here's what separates the rich from the broke. It's not just actions, it's beliefs. The 1% believe, money is everywhere. I just need to provide value. I deserve to be wealthy. Money flows to those who solve problems. Investing isn't risky. Ignorance is time is more valuable than money. Growth feels uncomfortable, and that's a good thing. The 99%, they believe money is hard to come by. I'll never have enough. If I just save, I'll be fine. Rich people got lucky. Maybe next year I'll figure it out. And that belief gap, that's the real wealth gap. Chapter 4, the system was never built for you to win. If you feel like you're doing everything right, working hard, staying out of trouble, following the rules, and you're still broke, there's a reason. The system is working exactly as it was designed. It just wasn't designed for you. Let that sink in. Part 1, the game is rigged, and you were never told. Let's get real. You were taught to go to school, get good grades, go into debt for college, get a job, buy a house, work for 40 years, retire on what's left. That's the formula, right? But that formula, it was built in a world that no longer exists. Your parents believed it. Their parents lived it. But now, that same system is leaving people broke, stressed, and stuck. Part 2, the financial system is not your friend. Let's look at the real game. Banks make billions lending you your own money. Credit card companies profit off your struggle. The government taxes your labor the hardest. Schools don't teach financial literacy. And inflation? That's a silent tax you didn't vote for. Meanwhile, the rich, they use debt to get richer. They buy assets that pay them every month. They pay less tax legally because they understand the rule. And most people, they don't even know the game exists. Part 3, school prepared you to obey, not to win. Let's talk about this. What did school teach you? How to memorize, how to follow instructions, how to ask for permission, how to never question authority. But did it teach you how to build wealth, how to invest, how taxes work, how credit works, how to start a business? Nope, because school wasn't built to make you free. It was built to make you compliant. They trained you to be a worker, not a winner. Part 4. Why the rich play by different rules. Here's where it gets wild. The rich don't work harder, they work smarter, and completely differently. They use LLCs to protect their money. They borrow money at low interest to invest in cash-flowing assets. They buy real estate that gives them tax breaks. They own businesses, stocks, royalties. They don't just earn income. They build wealth, and most people work 9 to 5, get taxed at the highest rate, spend more than they save, pray for a raise and die with debt. It's not because the rich are better. It's because they learn the real rules. Part 5. The system keeps you distracted. You know what keeps the 99% in check? Distractions. They feed you. Celebrity drama, political division, 10-second dopamine hits, mindless scrolling, viral nonsense, fear-based news. Why? Because if you're distracted, you don't wake up. You don't question. You don't fight back. They don't need to chain you up. They just need to keep you numb, tired, and broke enough not to rebel. Part 6. How to break the system's grip. Here's the good news. The system is rigged, but you can beat it if you're willing to unplug from it. You need to educate yourself about money. Stop chasing status and start building assets. Build multiple income streams, learn skills that pay you for life. Checkmark, stop living for the weekend. Checkmark, start living on your terms. You can't play their game and expect to win. You've got to build your own. It starts with awareness, then action, then discipline, even when everyone around you is still asleep. Part 7. From the 99% to the 1%, it's a mindset shift. This whole audiobook, it's not just about money, it's about power, about taking control of your life. The moment you realize the system wasn't built for you is the same moment you stop waiting for someone to save you. No boss, no government, no lottery, you. Because the system was built to keep you broke. But you don't have to stay that way. Chapter 5. How to escape the 99%. Most people go their entire lives broke because they never had a plan. They had a paycheck. They had bills. They had dreams, but no plan. Let's fix that right now. Step 1. Burn the old blueprint. First things first, let go of the formula that's keeping you poor. Go to college, take on debt, work forever. Save a little, retire late, hope it's enough. If I just work harder, things will change. Money is bad. Rich people are greedy. Success is luck. That old mindset, it's not just outdated, it's dangerous. You can't build a mansion on a cracked foundation. You've got to unlearn before you rebuild. So step 1, mentally divorce the old model. Say it out loud. I don't follow the broke playbook anymore. Step 2, master a high-income skill. If you want to escape the 99%, you need to increase your earning power. Period. Not just any job, not just clocking hours. You need to learn a high-income skill that pays you more than $5,000 per month, solves real problems, can scale with the internet, gives you leverage examples, copywriting, sales, digital marketing, coding, video editing, web design, AI automation, UGC creation, online consulting/coaching, branding, SEO, funnel building. The goal is simple. Learn how to make money without needing a boss. Start learning, start freelancing, start building your brand. Step 3, build an emergency fund before you build wealth. Protect yourself from chaos. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses. Keep it liquid, high-yield savings account. Do it fast. Even if it's $500 a month, automate it if you have to. This gives you power, not just peace. Why? Because when life hits, and it will, you won't go crawling back to debt. Step 4, create multiple streams of income. One income stream equals 1 point of failure. One paycheck equals total vulnerability. The 1% think in streams. A main skill-based income, a side hustle, affiliate income, investments, rental cash flow, digital products, royalties, YouTube/podcasts/content monetization. You don't need 7 right away. Start with 2 and build from there. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. The average broke person has 1, their job. Which side are you on? Step 5, build assets, not just income. Listen close. Income makes you money. Assets keep you rich. Your job won't make you free. Assets will. Start thinking like an investor. Buy stocks that pay dividends. Own real estate that pays you monthly. Create digital products that sell in your sleep. Buy cash-flowing businesses. Invest in yourself. Courses, mentors, masterminds. Your goal, build income that doesn't need your time. That's freedom. Final message. You've been lied to, but now you know the truth. You've been held back, but now you have the tools. You've played small, but now you've got the fire. The 99% stay broke by default. The 1%, they escape on purpose. Which one are you becoming? It starts today. It starts right now. And it starts with a choice. Thank you for locking in. Thank you for choosing truth. And remember this, it's not too late. You're not too far gone. And the 1% life, it's not just for them. It can be yours too. If this changed the way you think, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel right now.